They have all asked me to write down the whole particulars about how I came to be here, from the beginning to the end, keeping nothing back. So now, in my old age, I need to begin with our journey, when my parents and I crossed the wide Atlantic in the hopes of sanctuary on the green island of Ireland. Eventually, I will need to go further back to make everything clear. But this is the real beginning, because it is when I knew I had to take control of the journey, and when I had to make the decision if I would live or die. What I recall best is the noise, the thrashing of heavy sprays, the thundering of the sails, the shrill cries of the crew, the suffering of the seasick. I was ill the entire first week of the crossing. Most everyone was, all of us hanging off the sides of the boat, moaning and retching. Worst of all, though, was that for days there was only the dry heaving, so bad my stomach must have bruised from the violence of it all. Even after the worst passed, I lay between sleep and waking, my eyes wide open in the darkness, the sickness gone, but replaced by my head swimming and my body giddying, which was almost worse to bear. Just the thought of those days makes my stomach churn again. I've never known such misery, despite what I've been through since. I have had many adventures in my life, but there's no matching that anguish time. There's pain and suffering, and then there is misery, which is what we lived while we crossed the ocean. And of course, none of us was as bad off as my father, although I wouldn't realize that for many days into the voyage. My mother worked with the crew the entire time. There was always something to do with the sails, and although she had never been on a sailboat, she got the hang of it better than the rest of the ragtag crew. Everyone on that 6-person crew barely slept. If they got sick, they worked through it. Most of them had wormed their way onto the boat, promising to work and trade for the passage over. The Covenant had once been a grand yacht meant to carry about 10 wealthy passengers. The boat was most likely stolen from some unwatched dock in the wake of the war. Now it was scraped and worn, but still sturdy, with 2 large sails latched to thick masts. "Pay attention!" the captain yelled at least once a day when she felt the crew was not adjusting the sails quickly enough. She was a giant of a woman who was always angry and anxious. She had no teeth, which made her face seem thinner and meaner. Then, quietly but with even more frustration, to herself, "That is the most important thing." After which she would close her eyes and make her lips move in prayer. To what force, I don't know. The ocean, most likely, as it controlled her entire world. I watched the captain all the time because I watched everyone. That was the only way I remained sane. But it is also just how I have always been. My father used to say I noticed things that others did not, and for that reason I might be an artist someday. But that was before everything happened, before we were just trying to keep ourselves alive hour by hour.